Today's topic is cost utility analysis. My name is Sheetal Kuriakos, working as Assistant Professor Acharya and BM Reddy College of Pharmacy, Bengaluru. After completion of the topic, the learners will be able to define the cost utility analysis. Second one describes various steps of cost utility analysis. Third, explain the different methods to determine utilities. And the last, interpret the results using the QALY or quality adjusted life of year. First, now we move on to the cost utility analysis a definition. The cost utility analysis is said to be a subset of cost effectiveness analysis. Now, what is cost effectiveness analysis? In cost effectiveness analysis, it measures a cost in dollars or rupees, and the outcomes are measured in natural health units like BP, HbA1c value, serum creatinine, etc. But in cost utility analysis, the clinical outcome is measured, usually the quality adjusted life year, that is QALY. Now, this is a common unit, or it's a common outcome unit used in utility studies. It incorporates both the quality, that is morbidity, and quantity, that is mortality of life. Reflection spot. Now, can you take one pen and paper and just write down what do you feel about what can be the advantages of cost utility analysis over cost effectiveness analysis. So just pause it and just write down what do you feel about this. So we'll move on to the advantages and disadvantages of utility analysis. The advantages are different types of health outcomes and diseases with the multiple outcomes of interest can be compared, unlike your cost effectiveness analysis, using one common unit such as quality adjusted life of year. Disadvantages is it's difficult to determine an accurate utility or the preference weight value. So I hope so you're clear with the advantages and the disadvantages and how it's a bit better than your cost effectiveness. And we'll see the steps in calculating the QALYs. Now, the first step is to develop a description of each disease state or condition of interest. Choose a method for determining utilities. Select the subjects who will determine utilities. Fifth one, sum the product of utility scores by the length of life for each option too. And the last step is to obtain the quality adjusted life of years. Next, we'll see each step in detail. So the first step is to develop a description of each disease state or condition of interest. The description should be concisely depict the usual health effects expected from the disease state or condition. It can include the amount of pain or discomfort, any restrictions on activities, the time it may take for treatment, possible changes in health perceptions, and any mental changes. Now, for example, how to describe or develop the description is given here. The description of hospital based kidney dialysis. The first one is tiredness, piece of tube inserted in your body making you uncomfortable, no pain but chronic discomfort, regular visits to the hospital, strict diet to be followed, and depression. The second step is to choose a method for determining the utilities. Now, there are three common methods to determine the utilities. The first one is rating scale, second one is standard gamble, third method is time trade-off. Now we will move on to the methods for determining the utility. That is, the first one is the rating scales. Now the rating scale looks like a thermometer kind of illustration. It is asked to ask respondents to estimate the utility scores, that the different health states ranging from 0 to 1. 0 means death and 1 will be assigned as a perfect health. In this example, the respondent estimated that being in coma for 1 year has a lower utility score, that is 0.1, and a person who is having hospital dialysis for 1 year, the utility score for that person will be 0.6. Both are lower than the utility estimated for allergies, for mild allergies, that is 0.9. Okay, so this is one method. By using the rating scale, we can assess or determine the utility score. The second method is standard gamble. Using the standard gamble approach, the respondent is asked to think about being in a chronic health state and then told that he or she could gamble on an intervention that could either cure the condition, its probability equal to P, although he or she might die from the intervention, that is probability 1 minus P. A base probability is given and the respondent is asked to whether he or she would have the intervention or live with the chronic condition. This probability is varied when respondent is indifferent. The two options is difficult to choose between. The probability at this indifference point is the utility associated with the condition. So here what is done is the standard gamble method. The respondent is asked to think that he's in a chronic health state and there is one intervention to cure his condition. So that's a probability, that's an alternative one, or you can be in the disease state, that is alternative 2. Now in alternative 1 itself, the intervention may, after the intervention, it may turn out, the person may turn out to be healthy, or there are chances that after the intervention the patient may die, that is 1 minus P. Now the options, the base probability is given and the respondent is asked whether he would or have the intervention with the chronic condition or not. Okay, so the probability is varied, the probability keeps on varying until there is a point called as indifferent riches, where there is there is difficult with the two options, it's difficult to choose between. This indifference point is the utility score for this condition. So this is how in through by the standard gamble method the utility score is calculated. Time trade-off method. This time trade-off method is a schematic represents the choice a respondent makes about trading off years of life for a better health for a shorter period of time. The respondent is given the choice of living a full life, that is to time t, with a specific condition, or living fewer years, that is time x, without the condition being healthy. The time of living healthy is varied until the respondent is indifferent between the living in full health, that is X years, and living with the condition for T years. The utility score is calculated using for this condition is X by T. Choose subjects who will determine utilities. It's a third step in which you have to choose. The subjects can be patients, healthcare professionals. Professionals have had experience with the disease states and are easily accessible for interviews, and it can be general population. So these are the subjects which we can choose to determine our utilities. Fourth point is multiply the utilities by the length of life for each option to obtain the QALYs, or the quality adjusted life of years. Now, when comparing the options, the difference in the length of life permitted by each option is multiplied by the utility scores obtained above. We compare two treatment options, for example, drug A and drug B. Although drug B extends the person's life for more years, the quality of life for those years is lower than the drug A. If the cost effective analysis were conducted, option B would be relatively taken out. Cost effective at an incremental cost per year of life is $5,000. If the quality of those years is incorporated into the equation by calculating quality adjusted life of years, option A becomes dominant in that it costs less and provides a better outcome. As an example, the table here, calculations is done. So we have seen here, the example has been explained that there is a drug A and there is a drug B. The cost of the treatment is $10,000 for drug A, and the years of life saved is 5. Now the utility for each year of the life saved is 0.8 for drug A. So the quality of adjusted life is 4. Drug B, the cost for the treatment is 20,000. Years of life saved is 7. The utility for that life saved is 0.5. The quality of adjusted life of years will be like multiply the years of life saved into the utility for each year of life saved. That is 5 into 0.8, that is 4, and 7 into 0.5, that is 3.4. So for the drug A, the quality adjusted life of years is 4, and for drug B, the quality adjusted life of years is 3.5. Now, when you calculate using cost effectiveness analysis, the result will show that drug B is better than drug A. But when you calculate with your cost utility analysis, you find it out that the drug A is dominant on basis of quality of adjusted of life of years. So this is how it has been interpreted, and it can be taken on the basis of the amount which can be spent on the intervention. Depending upon all these things, whether we can opt for drug A or we can opt for the drug B. And that's all about your cost utility analysis. Thank you.